What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How is everybody doing out there in fish tank land? I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Yeah, I'm a little late. I had to reboot everything. It always, it happens. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know how the audio is. The place is torn apart. I am doing a lot. You see what's behind me. And there's a big old mess going on. It's pretty nice. It's a nice mess. It's a fun mess. Let me check out the chat. Let's see what's going on. Daryl Deemer gave me a message making sure I'm all right. I appreciate that. I have Candy in here like right from the beginning. It's Sunwise as well. How are you? Sharpie's Models and Aquatics. The Water Box. What's up, Chung? We have Jesse from HC Aqua. All right. D Smoke, or Big D Smoke. Cool deal. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. The Cove, what's up? How are you? Science Gal Aquatics. D, how are you? Cool deal. Priscilla, everybody's in here. It's so cool to see you all here. Shelby Ray, what's up? So I'm working on the rack. So I came up with a new idea. I'm supposed to make videos, right? And show you guys all this stuff, but I'm just too busy doing it. And I've completely, okay, there's so much. I'm just kind of really excited. I'm kind of pumped. I haven't slept. That's why I'm late. That's why I don't have a proper thumbnail today. I was sleeping in a little bit today because I literally was up all night. I'm a little bit of a loopy from some paint fumes. I'm trying to open up things when I can. I don't want to hurt the fish, but I'm not really worried about me, but the fish, the fish are important. So I came up with a new idea. Let me grab one. I guess I have one down so I can show you guys what I'm doing. It's good to see you all here. Pamela Fox, how are you? Quantum Star, good to see you here in the stream. Let me go grab one of these things. So I was worried about wood and plywood and what I was gonna do, right? And I had all this extra foam from when I had this wall, when I had a wall up here, and I separated everything. And I was kind of, I was over that wall. I was trying to change the temperature, really, the climate in the apartment for fish tanks, because it was too drastic with that wall up for me to control temperatures in the kitchen when the window AC unit is in the living room. Anyways, let's see. So I have all this foam. It's an 1.25 inch, insulation foam. You put in the walls, cut it up or whatever. And I couldn't get flat. I got satin, but it's still good for the black paint. But I went ahead and cut them to size. And they're super thick. There's no problems. I'm putting 10s and 20s on here, even 40s. You put a 100-gallon tank on this foam, and it would be nice. Anyways, so I painted them all black all night long, all day yesterday, letting the AC run. You can see my knee marks from when I was on it on my knees cutting the foam. I left little knee marks. Anyways, I amuse myself. You need more coffee, Joseph. I'm afraid that I'm gonna run out in the middle of this stream. That's for sure. So cool deal. Oop, out of my ear. So that works out. So I didn't spend any money, so that's free. The other thing that I had to do is retrofit this shelving unit. It needed some more bolts. It doesn't come with all the nuts and bolts that you really can use to secure all the different connections and just sturdy up everything a little bit more, right? So I'm doing that, and then the foam on top, and it's ready to go, and it's going to the other room. So everything's already kind of torn apart. I'm trying to film as much of it as I can as well. So I'm kind of frazzled. I'm in a YouTube daze of in a fish room days. I'm kind of high off of it, if I can use that word. Pumped up, really excited. And if you see everything else here on the shelf behind me, this is really cool stuff. This is all stuff that came from, we'll just say, a private benefactor, a supporter of mine, someone who really appreciates what I'm doing, is trying to help me make this stuff happen faster. You have 2 Tetra air pumps, a whole bunch. I got 16 sponge filters, and then there's in that box is a whole bunch of airline as well, and gang valves and stuff like that. So, and right now I have eight 8-10 gallons that are going onto this rack from the kitchen, and I'm gonna be able to show all that with you guys kind of sort of today. Seems like my audio is a little high. I don't know, but I'm not gonna play with anything. Leilani's Kitchen, how are you? Good to see you here. Canadian Pet Household. Let's see. Okay, so there was a couple things there on the subject matter. I got all into this shelving unit and just had to go for it, and I spaced out on really doing well. I had some research. I did have some stuff up I wanted to show you guys, and I just had to do a reboot right before, and I lost all. I had like a browser open with all kinds of pages of just stuff I wanted to screen share with you guys and show you stuff in regards to Glofish, in regards to dying fish and stuff like that, because there's lots of different methods. We get on that subject for just a minute, and then after we talk about Glofish and dying fish and that subject matter, because everybody's talking about it right now, then I want to show you guys I got a camera on a jib, a homemade PVC jib slash boom that I built about a couple years ago. It's mounted on my wall. You guys never see it because it's behind the scenes. It's custom made out of PVC pipe, and I have my other camera on it right now with a remote control pan and tilt, and so I can show you guys the whole room. Now the walls are gone. It's a fish studio, and I can give you a full view of everything going on in here right now. But anyways, so when it comes to Glofish, originally, I think most of us probably know this in here, but Glofish and dying fish originally was done for scientific purposes, to mark fish when they're doing scientific projects. They're basically tattooing them, coloring them for identification purposes. And I think that's where this technology really kind of stemmed from originally. It's from science. And then it just gets, let's profit off of it and use it in the hobby as well, right? And I'm not going to badmouth certain things. I mean, inhumane practices I definitely am not into, but so originally there was the tattooing process of literally using like a tattoo gun on. I had pictures of stuff, and probably not stuff that you guys want to see anyways, but people literally tattooing fish. Just seems brutal to like take a full-size tattoo gun to a little tiny fish. But anyways, so there's that method, and then there's also the method of using caustic chemicals to actually take off the slime coat of the fish so that the fish can absorb dyes that way, and then they kind of stain the fish, which that's more of a temporary thing. It'd be like getting the hair dye, and it slowly washing out over a month and a half. So it's kind of, and you're destroying the slime coat. So there's a lot of different sides to it. I definitely think that the practice of tattooing and harming the fish, genetically modifying the fish, is a whole nother level, and that's what Glofish is. That's another level where they're taking the genes from jellyfish and injecting the jellyfish genes into the egg of the fish. It's crazy stuff. So that's one thing. And I think that we need to get past, for sure, they need to get past the tattooing and the staining of fish and things like that. That's pretty crazy, and it's very, very prominent even in Asia and the fish markets there in Hong Kong and stuff like that. I mean, they're literally will tattoo like famous quotes and stuff like that. Chinese proverbs and things, whatever. They'll type them. They'll tattoo them on the side of the fish and stuff like that. Obviously, they go for fish that are already a little bit more transparent, kind of like glass catfish, stuff like that. Tetras, they want to, it makes it easier to see the effects, obviously. So the big rumor right now is that they're going to create some kind of a Glofish beta fish. Now, I don't know. I've searched all over the internet and I can't find any real evidence. If someone can give me some real press release from Tetra that they're actually doing this. I do know and have gotten some information about it that there's still the tattooing method that can be done on beta fish. So some people could be stripping their slime coat, dyeing them, or tattooing them The other thing too is, I mean, there is a platinum beta fish, and honestly, all you gotta do is take a platinum beta fish on its own, put it into a tank, and if you set your lighting just right, you adjust the spectrum of your blue and your reds, that baby will pop. That thing will glow in the dark without. You don't need to do anything, you know. I remember I had cherry barbs. Cherry barbs, if you play with your lighting just right, so you just have an extra setting. Even on the Phoenix lights, you got like 4 settings, right? So like you take that. I'm totally not reading chat, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm realizing that. I'm going off on this thing, and then we'll get past this, and we're gonna look at my room, and then I'll read chat. Sorry. But anyways, like cherry barbs. I can take cherry barbs, and you get the lighting just right. Set a little setting on your Phoenix light for when you want to just play around and show it off to your friends, and you hit it, and all of a sudden the cherry barbs are like glowing in the dark. Or even my yellow King Kongs. The yellow King Kongs in that tank right there. If I take and I put it on Instagram one day, crazy. It looks they glow in the dark. Yellow King Kongs. If you put them in like a blue-red spectrum, basically a UV spectrum, if I actually had a black light, yeah, they would glow in the dark. Because they're transparent enough, so the light's reflecting through them and bouncing around. And anyways, all right, let me try to look at the chat here. Sorry, guys. Going off on a little tangent. It's nice to have you guys around, Like, I'm a little fish nerd stuck on a little island, and I'm like, oh, I got fish nerds to talk to. I can't get it all out fast enough. I don't think you couldn't. Now, see, Glofish is a patent. They have a copyright on that. That's a genetic copyright. I had that, too. There's actually copyrights on genetically modifying. Like, so you can, you could literally come up with your own genetically modified animal and copyright that thing, is kind of how it seems that it works these days. I don't know. So, I mean, if you were to try to do that, they would probably put a lawsuit against you if you tried to copy the same techniques that they're using to create glow fish. It's a big business for them because they don't just, you got to keep in mind, some of the bigger clients for them are not little kids buying. I mean, it is a big seller. They sell a lot of these fish in different techniques to big universities and stuff like that for science projects, because the fact that they're different colors, you can differentiate them in a science project. And have them like in the same tank, so the variables are the same when you're doing a test and stuff like that. So anyways, it makes sense. The purpose of doing some of that to a fish for science is one thing, but for entertainment is another. And I think that goes back to the same thing when we look at like the goldfish thing in the swimming pool. There's a point when you're not trying to make the fish comfortable and make the fish happy and give them a proper environment, where you're actually trying to you're stressing them out and kind of torturing them for entertainment. That's when it's for amusement. That's when they kind of start to draw the line. And I think if people get frustrated and people's ethics start to get passionate and all emotional and stuff. Anyways, so that's my thing on the glowfish. There's a place for them in science. I see that. And I see that it is like a gateway fish for young people into the hobby as well. And that's fine too. I just hope that once they get into the hobby, they can look past that and they can see the true beauty of nature, kind of preserving it without messing with it and preserving it for what it is. You know what I mean? Anyways, all right, so yeah, I'm really happy to have all the awesome stuff on the top shelf of this rack. I'm going to go ahead and have my air pumps and try to keep everything up off the ground at this point. I've gone around my room at this point, and I'm trying to make it so that I could pretty much sweep and mop to the walls all the way around, like if this was a industrial kitchen or something like that. My computers, I did that last night. I stayed up, painted, and I redid my whole studio space, which is a little island in the middle of my studio apartment, which is a fish room. But I got all my computers up off the floor just in case there was some kind of flood. All the wires are up off the floor. Everything's tight. I got rid of stuff I don't need. I wrapped things up. All the cable are all sweet. I'm really happy about it. It's nice to like look back at what you guys don't see, and I feel comfortable because my space is clean. Anyways, so let's check out this. Let's check out my other camera. Let me turn on the. Trying to save the battery on the pan until it's a. Let me turn that on. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I appreciate all you that hung out with me on Friday. I was gonna edit a video, and that's another thing. It's like things have been coming up lately in the news, and it's like I catch myself wanting to talk about that instead. The camera looks so bad though. So really bad. So really bad. I dropped this pan and tilt, and I don't think it's gonna work. I think I broke it actually. I dropped it the other day. So either way, it's not in a bad angle for what we need to talk about just for a minute, except you get to see my refrigerator a little bit more than I like to share. Yeah, it's broken. See, it's all clicking. I messed it up. Anyways, so this is what I got going on right now. You got this little mini fridge where I keep all my medications and fish foods that I like to keep at a cooler temperature, or at least just kind of, in there. And then you've got the rack that I started, I don't know, not too long ago, and I realized that wasn't gonna be enough really quickly, right? So I have some unused tanks on the bottom shelf, but I've got those 6 there, and then I've got the other shrimp tank with all the tools on it, and then there's a little 5-gallon Hex marine land thing that I got at a yard sale for quarantine. It's got 2 killifish breeding in the sponge with the spawning mop in there. So all that has got to get taken down, or at least drained down enough that I can move them. They're all tins. It's not too bad, but I'm gonna do that all after my stream today. I'm gonna go get myself an energy drink, and I'm gonna go nuts. And I'm going to move all that, break all that down, and the shelving unit you see behind me is going up right there. I'm looking at taking one of these shelving units, and it's going to be more of like a I'm going to take one of them and use them out here for just to store other stuff, maybe for shipping and stuff like shipping materials. I'm not sure. The other one will get turned sideways. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do. I don't know. I got my microscope on the top shelf for a minute here, but it's going to make its way back out onto this desk. I just put it up there while I was cleaning and organizing, but the plan for this is to be my recording studio space, but the second half of this is more of a lab space where I can work with my microscope and I can mix things and measure stuff and kind of just deal with stuff. At the same time, I'm also thinking about taking the top of that mini fridge. Once those tanks are gone off of the top of the mini fridge, it's moving to another spot on the other side of the room, and I can put some stuff on there, like my heat sealer for sealing bags and stuff like that. Jen Strandley, how are you? Welcome to the stream. You're not late, no worries. We're just chilling out. Daryl Deemer, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Now I'm gonna watch the stream now. The camera is messed up, but it is pan and tilt. I mean, not just pan and tilt, but I have it on a. Yeah, that's not gonna get you much because the shelving unit is in the way. But yeah, whatever. I've got it on the pan and tilt, in on a jib and a boom, but the problem is I dropped that thing. I think I killed it. I might get another one because they are pretty cool to have. Ooh. Whatever. All right, we're gonna get past that. I'm gonna just get rid of that. That's really frustrating to me because the picture looks horrible and the pan and tilt doesn't work because I was just gonna have it buzz around the room so you could see everything. I thought it would look cool. Probably need to get another camera because this is such a nice camera compared to that. Horrible contrast. Really stands out. Daryl Deemer, thank you again for that super chat. I look forward to seeing you at the Aquashella for sure. Maybe the aquatic experience as well. Aquashella is going to be fun. I'm really getting more excited. We're getting down to a month here. And it's just nice to see my friends. Hang out. Be in the United States for a little bit. Getting off the island. Being around some fish nerds that I can talk to and hang out with. I look forward to that. Yeah, this rack is going to replace that stuff in the kitchen. And I'll be able to put 7 10 gallons on each of the shelves. So there'll be, I could put a total of 21 10 gallons on it. And that's just to work with some of the killifish stuff that I'm doing, the betta fish stuff that I'm trying to do here soon, and the blue tetra stuff. Like right there, those tanks are done. As far as I'm in my head, I'm already thinking they're taken already with killifish, betta fish, and that's just messing with like a couple of pairs of each of those species. If you're thinking about it, if you're trying to breed and you're really thinking about it, you got to have some tanks ready for babies. You gotta, there's a little bit more going on than, I don't know. It's either that or, I don't know. I guess I'm a breeder. I guess I can't help myself. Sometimes I want to I can have some nice fun show tanks, but in the end, I like to breed fish, and that requires lots of aquariums. I think it just comes down to that. William Jansen, thank you so much. One of my Patreons, thank you so much for that super chat. And I'm over here trying to calculate what that is in American and US dollars. $5 US, he says there. $5 US repair fund. Well, thank you. Yeah, the remodel fund. The thing is it's all constantly an evolution, right? Because like I even look at what I'm doing now, and I'm talking about how what I'm doing right now and about to do, haven't done yet, is already not enough. And I know that this is constantly an evolution, and as if this is really something that's going to grow for me as a hobby and even as a business, I'm not going to be in this place eventually. All this stuff is going to go, and I'm going to have to, literally like sacrifice and flush off a lot of stuff and restart again. Like I think about coming back to the States and creating a facility on the mainland. It's like, in the end, there's a lot bigger steps than just what I'm doing right now. To me, this is just just one step, honestly. But I'm enjoying every little piece of it. The key to me, and the key to the secret to happiness is doing what you love, following your passions, following your heart. And if I talk too deeply about it, I'll start to actually get emotional, because it's so beautiful when you actually do it, and it builds on itself. The more faith you have in it, and the more you put your energy into things that you truly love and you truly believe in, you can like build a business around it. You can make it a livelihood for yourself. You can, and that's the key. What I'm actually trying to get at is it's not so much about the destination. So many people are like, I want to get to here. I want that, right? I think it's really important if you really love what you're doing, you're going to love the journey and the process, right? Even though you might know that you have, you're going to enjoy that whole process. Like being a content creator on YouTube, you can't just, yes, my channel might be about fish keeping. I definitely have a very, very, very strong passion. It's a lifestyle for me. But if I didn't enjoy making videos and didn't enjoy setting up these lights and cameras and doing the live stream and all that, then YouTube wouldn't be for me. I should just be a fish breeder. It's like there's definitely a difference. And so yes, anyways, I just think definitely people need to follow their dreams, follow their heart, do what you love. It totally can make it happen. And enjoy the journey of it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the hard work along the way. And that's what you should be enjoying. You should be doing something that you wake up and enjoy doing it every day, and you're not stressed out because you're not there yet, wherever there is in the future. You should be enjoying the moment of it. Like I enjoy my water changes. I enjoy getting lost in my aquariums. And a dream come true is to get to be able to do that for a living and get lost in aquariums all day long and have my hands in aquariums all day long. Like, that's a dream come true. For some people, that's not a dream come true, but for me, yes. Candy Overhauls, thank you again for putting out all the links and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it, and all that stuff. No, I really do appreciate it. You are a backbone to this community, really. You are really instrumental. It's another good word, and I mean that. Freshwater Exotics in the chat. Good to see you here. Hashtag love life. That's it. Yeah, I feel like I'm preaching it again, but I feel like I have to say it sometimes. Another person that I really, really, really appreciate his words is Rob from Flip Aquatics. If you don't, he's a very passionate individual with his hobby and what he does, and I feel like we're on the same level in regards to our theory on how we live life. I feel like, to a certain extent. Anyways, I just feel like it's about the journey. It's about enjoying it every day and the hard work that comes into it. All those water changes. Like if you're looking at fish keeping as a business, it's all those water changes, all those days packing fish, unboxing fish. You gotta love that, or don't go trying to do it. Amber, did I say hi already? Yes. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's all about the journey. And I'm bringing that up because I'm talking about how I'm building this rack, knowing that this rack is going to come down eventually, and things are going to get bigger. And I know that this is, like, there's no reason to stop now just because I'm not in the United States yet and I don't have a larger building. I have to do what I can with the space that I have. I think that's another thing that I live by as well. Make do with what you have. Even this apartment. If you were to look at the unit next door when I moved in here, it looked like a little skeezy, little dirty, nasty, and the people that lived here before were pretty dirty people. And I went to town. Before I even moved my stuff, opened up boxes. I refinished the walls. I had fun with green paint. All the trim is black in here. I had like this. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I had a plan in my head. It was stronger than my own mind. I didn't know that I was going to have a YouTube channel. I didn't know that I was going to have a camera, and that these green walls are going to be the backdrop to a live stream. I had no idea. When I just doing what I do, you know. Same with the rack. I did this fish tank rack way before YouTube. Not way before you, about a year, and I made that rack about a year before I started YouTube and that's when I was like, I want to share this. I want people to see this. I wish I would have shared the build on that, because I don't plan on we'll see, but I don't plan on doing too much 2x4 racks unless it's financially feasible. Otherwise, it's a lot more work than buying husky shelving or industrial shelving units that you can take down and put up very easily in multiple pieces, especially if you're all of a sudden, change a facility, and you can tear down real easy. Okay, I'm ranting, I'm going off. I'm checking out the chat. I appreciate everything. I see you guys all talking back and forth. Oh, Priscilla, don't show me my first video. Yeah, my first video. Oh, my first video. I have been thinking about that lately, right? Like, I should do like a reaction video of my first video. I've seen people doing that. Ooh, I said, you missed, you might, you might know. If you watch it, you'll see that part. I just kept saying, like, bad. But you could see that I was coming from my heart. That my goal here is to kind of share my experiences and maybe help, especially young people, because in they're the future of the hobby, and it's real easy for them to get scared away from the hobby, having a bad experience, or even having a bad experience from the community, having somebody come to them and be rude to them rather than trying to help them. Like, I literally know people that are doing some pretty wild stuff with fish, putting larger fish, too many fish in a tank or whatever it might be. And there's a place where it's like it's hard to say something. You want to be, if you want to do it right, it's like you come to them like, well, I would try this out. This is kind of what I would do. And then that, I mean, that's like the positive way and the kind of the right way to do it. And then you're kind of stuck to just let them pray for the fish and let them figure it out. I mean, it's either that or you turn them into a mean person, or especially with young people. Anyways, it is a hard spot to be in though, when you want to help somebody but you don't want to be rude. Education is the key, and that's the key, right? Is to just say, well, this is what I do, and I do it this way, and I do water changes like this, and that's why I can have that many fish in that tank, and this is why it works, and maybe they'll suck that knowledge up or something. And that's what YouTube's about. You can make the videos, and people, hopefully, younger people will see it too. It's one reason why I've always kept my stuff completely family friendly and clean. No real, cussing or nastiness or drinking, because I've always wanted young people to be able to see this, and I don't want it to be put in a position where they're not, it's going to be filtered from them or something like that. Anyways, it's a bummer that the camera's not working. It's not the camera, it's the pan and tilt. That I dropped it, and I can see that the circuit board it looks like it's just loose, so I might be able to open the thing up and like maybe it just came loose from its mounts or something, or I don't know. Right, Priscilla? I'm sure that's the thing, I'm sure that working in a pet store, you're going to actually have to deal with that all the time, and you're going to learn how to communicate those things. You can get real good at it. I think it's an awesome experience. I think it's an awesome experience for you, especially even as, I know you're an artist, but you are a content creator, and that experience is really awesome. When people come to you with questions on the platform, say younger people or stuff, you have experience and know how to say it probably short and sweet. It's like someone like Corey. I mean, people are going to get the same thing every day, and you can be like, just like I do here being on a tourist island. I get tourists coming to me, ask me the same thing, and it's just like a robot out of my head, because the same questions all the time. But yeah, education is the key. That was something I really appreciated. Rob93 was talking about that in his stream not too long ago. And that is it. It's all about education. It's the best thing we can do. Educate each other rather than badmouth each other. All right. Checking out the chat over here. Anyways, this is really nice. Everything's ready to rock and roll in here. I'm going to go nuts in here today. Try to get the fake cameras rolling for it, but it's really kind of one of the things where I got to work. So it's going to be a toughie to film, because I'm just going to have to really set up the camera so that I can rock and roll. Did I miss that last super? Did I say that $10 super chat, King and Queen Cichlids? Did I not even say anything? I was sitting there ranting. I read it, and then I'm like, I'm going to say something about that in just a second. Thank you for hanging out here, King and Queen Cichlids. I'm sorry that you got to go. I appreciate the 10. I'm going to see you tonight, of course. He's got they got their live stream tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, we have 6 o'clock, we have Aquafunk. We have Suzy Q at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Chris this morning, and I missed that because I was sleeping in. I missed Chris's stream. So many people in here I'm going to see in less than a month, or in about a month. Less than a month? About a month. I'd be so happy to see you guys, for real. That's what's so cool, is this community is so much, I don't know, I've kind of gotten, of course I jumped right into things. I've met a lot of really awesome people, but it's so awesome. I got Priscilla. Science Gal Aquatics will be there. Daryl Deemer will be there. Let's see, is the Cove going to be there? It was nice to meet Cove last time. Anyways, it's going to be a fun one. Amber from Big City Bettas, she will be there. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I just love the combination. Oh, and in the water box, Chung here, he will be there. Jess, Shrimp King, Shrimp. Jess, the Shrimp Granny. I don't know, I was about to say Shrimp King. Woo! Oh, everybody starts talking. So you all are here, just lurking and hanging out, listening to me ramble. I talk about Aquashell, and everybody perks up and start into the chat here. I'm trying to chill and watch the chat, and then everybody gets quiet in the chat because people are used to me not paying attention to the chat. But I'm honestly trying to make an effort of that. I'm trying to set this up better so that I kind of have like the chat right in my face now, so I have even less excuses. I look forward to, whenever I travel, I do like to eat. So it would be nice to hang out and just get to. That's a lot of the times that we get to hang out. It's either we're going to be doing, besides the event, if we're going to hang out with people, we're either going to go out to eat together or we're probably going to go check out a fish store together. And that's probably the two things that are going to happen. Besides, my dad is here. That looks like my father. No one else could be, unless someone else is trolling me. I believe that is my father. Hi, Dad. How are you? He's a salty guy, though. He likes the saltwater tanks. So you guys watch out for him. But yeah, we're probably going to eat together or we're going to see fish stores together. So besides those two things, everybody say hi to Dad. Besides those two things, we're going to be at the convention, or I'm going to be sleeping in my room. But this will be fun. Chicago's not a bad spot. It seems like there's going to be some restaurants within walking distance, so it's kind of going to be like it was in New Jersey for the aquatic experience. It was so nice to just like go right next door to Outback for lunch. Like, no worries, just go eat and then go back to the convention, and not like we're walking down the street either in really cold weather or really hot weather, or like or having to get all like caravan in cars. Like, and Dallas was dangerous. Dallas was a mess. Dallas was not fun when it came to the roads and trying to find food. We had some stuff that I don't want to complain, but I just would prefer not to eat a lot of the stuff that I ate. Amber, Priscilla, y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh boy. Anyways, all right, cool. It's nice to have family in the chat. That's nice. Have family in the stream. Dad, look behind me. I've got a big rack. This is my new rack. It's gonna go up in the kitchen. He doesn't know about this. I should call my father and tell him about it. Yeah. Talk his ear off for an hour about it. So yeah, I got a new rack going in the kitchen. It's gonna take 21 10 gallons. It's gonna be for killifish, betta fish, maybe some other shrimp tanks, shrimp for profit tanks anyways. Some of my real estate at this point has got to be profitable a little bit to keep things rocking and rolling, to be honest. Bearded Bob's Fish Room, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Connor Sings, what's up? Papa Harden. Yeah. Tiffany White, you made it. What's up? Well, welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. This rack's going to be fun, but it's going to fill up quick, I'm afraid, and then I'm going to run out of space again. I started having some bad thoughts, kind of dreams of the floors going in. I know that this place is made from steel beams, so I know I'm protected there. But besides that, I don't think I'm going to put much more weight on this place. I am on a second floor. We had a earthquake the day before yesterday, 4.4, and then a few weeks ago we had a 4.7. So I am going to be looking into securing this rack and the rack behind that to the walls at this point. We've been having a lot of earthquakes lately, and I just want to be, who knows when they're going to have the big one. But we are right on a tectonic plate line, and so it just makes sense. I mean, we get lots of tremors all the time, but usually you don't feel them. A lot of times it happens in the middle of the night. They wake you up for a second and you just go back to bed. Yeah, I need to get some pictures. We gotta get Jen's got all the pictures. I gotta get pictures. I want to show off some of the reptiles from the youth. So with my father, we used to, it's their fault. It's their fault. It was all their thing. But working in the pet trade in Mexico collecting iguanas, and that was a really that's like my first experience in the pet trade, or so, you know, working with the livestock like that, and definitely an adventure, and it's all his fault. But yeah, running around in the jungle and getting bit by mosquitoes and collecting iguanas and bringing them back to the States and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fun times, fun times. Let's see. Yeah, I can't even think about glass Priscilla. I can't afford any. I got what I have. I got what I got, and that's what it is. I really need a macro lens, a real macro lens for some of these shrimp, because I'm not able to really get I'm not really getting any good shots of them. I keep trying to get some nice close-ups for Instagram, and it's not happening. All right, so yes, this fish studio is coming along completely and totally. The water filtration stuff is coming in. We have the booster pump from Aquatic Life coming in, and when that happens, the garbage can, which is the holding tank, is going into the filtration unit. It's going to fit right inside of there, and then basically I'll just have a line from coming out of that with RODI water, and it'll be separately pumped. There'll be a separate pump in there and pressure tank, so it'll have its own pressure system, and it will pull from that well, and then there'll be a float switch in there, and whenever the water level is low, the system will be pushing RODI water, and then that's it. It'll be like pretty much on demand RODI water, all enclosed within that one unit behind the doors of that unit. So the noise of the pumps and everything are kind of silenced inside of there. I have a fan on the top and a ventilation out to the window right behind it, so I could literally just cool it off if I needed to, if it got too hot in there, I want to have some circulation or whatever I want to do. So that's gonna be cool. So once that happens, that's the next big step, because it'll make water changes a breeze. And I will have a sump for wastewater too, that's going to pump out right throughout a waistline. So when I'm doing water changes, it can just siphon right down into a drain line, and it's going to pump it with the float switch automatically. It's going to pump it out the waistline. So that's really cool too. So the big thing for me with fish keeping, I think like a lot of us, is who wants to carry around big totes of water when you're doing water changes? The water changes is the hardest, is the most frustrating part. And I feel like if I can make that not an issue, it changes everything really. Like if I can just clean a tank, drop it down a line, and the waste is gone, and turn on a ball valve and fill a tank. The only thing I got to worry about is flooding the fish room. That's about it. William Jansen, I don't think most people need an RODI water. It's all about your water, what you're starting with. If you're working with Caribbean and shrimp, I would recommend RODI water, because you want to create your own water from scratch, be able to remineralize, and completely control it. You want to start with a blank white canvas when you're working with Caribbean and shrimp. Some people get away with having super clean water that's like 20 parts per million, and they can get away with using their tap water for Caribbean and shrimp. But a lot of things are going to be fine. Like say guppies are hard water fish. You could use tap water. If you just had tanks of guppies, you could literally just go with, I could literally take my tap water, except that I know what's in it now, and it's a lot of other, garbage. Otherwise I could just use my tap water for my guppy tanks, because they like, in the wild here, they like 800, 1,000 plus parts per million. So it's completely different than the Caribbean shrimp that like 50 to 75, 80 parts per million after you've remineralized with calcium, magnesium, and iron, iodine. Stuff like that. Tiffany White, that's right. You will be in Chicago as well at Aquashella. That's right. So we got a chunk of people in here. I can't wait. It's like we got to get candy overhauls to one of these events. We need to make that happen. I think you were saying, and I think Candy, you were talking about making the aquatic experience in New Jersey in October. I thought I heard a rumor about that, maybe. Well, I want to thank everybody for the super chats. I'm getting right close to the end here. Not quite done, but I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Some other news. I'm supposed to make videos and show you guys the process of all this. I am filming it, so it's all about editing now. So this foam is going to work out really, really well. Perfect. And I'm not, retrofit it with some nuts and bolts. It's ready to go. The next thing that I need for that, though, for the rack, is going to be LED strips. Just really basic. The real key is high as I can go, like Calvin's, like 6,000, 7,000, 6,500, whatever I can get, and just run those strips. Probably do 2 of them underneath each of the 3 shelves that are going to have tanks, and I'm ready to rock and roll there. Throw that all on a timer, give them 7 hours, and I'm good to go as far as I'm concerned. But there's going to run a little bit. I can't believe how much I paid for paint here. I blew a big chunk on paint yesterday just to buy a gallon of paint. I could have bought probably all of the LED light strips that I need off of Amazon for what I paid for a gallon of paint on this island. And I didn't even get flat because all they had was satin, so I had to go with that. That's island life for you, though. That is really island life for you. So I dropped almost $100 yesterday to get hardware for that rack and buy a gallon of paint, and I just it hurt. It hurt because it shouldn't be that expensive, but that's what I get for living in. That's the price you pay for living in paradise. I'm ready to road trip this too. I'm so ready to do the road trip from Indiana. I'm ready to go see Lucas's place. I just want to sit in that room with the silence of his fish rooms, with no air pumps and no filters running, and I just want to check out those tanks, man. I think I'm going to actually get 2 days to actually see his fish room. So that is super exciting. And then I'm going to go from there. We're going to road trip. It should be Haley from Oddball Aquatics and Amber from Big City Bettas. And we're going to road trip it. We're going to try to catch maybe even a fish room. Like do a fish room tour, somebody's house maybe along the way if we can work that out. If not, we're going to check out maybe a fish store or 2 along the way. If it's not going to cut into timing. And then we're going to hit Chicago and do Aquashella. That'll be fun. But yeah, it's going to be really awesome to get off the rock and see some really good friends and geek out about fish for more than just a couple of days. So I feel blessed and I'm grateful. I'm just working extra to make it work to get there because it's the off season for us. Perfect time for me to leave, but you're supposed to have like a stockpile of money for September and October in the Caribbean because that's peak hurricane month. That's when we had Irma 2 years ago. So you really want to, most people leave and they've stockpiled their money from season. But I just started a new job. You guys know everything went crazy. Girlfriend, me breaking up with the ex there and losing a killer job all in the same week. It was like a movie. It was awesome. So anyway, there's no nest egg for September and October. But I'm also planning on doing Aquashella and the Aquatic Experience in September and October. So this will be fun. I'll make it work. I have work to do here. There's plenty of places to do stuff. I mean, I'm a plumber. I can do carpentry. I can do a lot of different things. So I'm taking some side jobs on the weekend. So if you don't see content, that's why. But I can't let that be an excuse. Can't let that be an excuse either. All right, you guys, we're getting close to the end of this stream. I'm kind of excited. Not that I don't want to hang out with you folks anymore. But I'm ready to go nuts in this fish room. It's going to get a little wacky in here. I got to do it all kind of at once, I'm putting down 8 tanks. 8 tanks have to get drained, moved to the floor, and everything's got to get moved out of there. I want to sweep, mop, let it dry, throw this in there, drag it in there, and then set the tanks and fill them back up as quickly as possible, and then set up those air pumps and get those lines run to them, get air on them as soon as possible, and then I can relax. But that's like a one solid, one move kind of thing. Like, I'll put some music on, and I'll film it, and it'll just kind of be some B-roll thing. I mean, I'll speed it up, do some like time lapse. I've never done that, but I don't even know how to do that, and that might be should be embarrassed of that. But I've never done time lapse. I'm sure there's probably a YouTube video on how to do that. Oh boy. That shows you how much I know about editing film. Okay. Well, I hope you guys all have an awesome Sunday. William Jensen, I have not. And I need to. I should just do the raw thing and just put that up there today. Like, right at the end of the day. That's the kind of stuff I would prefer to put, like, raw. It's like, give people the raw thing uncut on the Patreon side. And that, to me, because like that's just like, why is Patreon special? Besides the fact that you're supporting me, why is it special for you? Is what I'm getting at. And I feel like what I need to do, that would what would be fun for me, is give people like the behind the scenes thing, like literally just uncut, like raw vlogging on that side. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing there, and this is the perfect time to do it with all this stuff, and just. Because these things behind me, I wouldn't be able to have without y'all's support. I wouldn't be able to do this stuff without the support of my Patreons, really. So I feel like they should get that. They should get that, you know. All right, Candy's throwing out the schedule for this evening. It all starts at 6 p.m. Eastern time. You're gonna have Aquafunk, which is gonna be super awesome. We got a 3-hour block of fishy goodness this evening, so definitely check that out. It's gonna be fun. I listen to that usually, and I run back to the computer when I want to type or comment, but I'm usually listening to that on Sundays while I'm trying to do either B-roll for something, or just working on tanks, or cooking, because yeah, that's usually dinner time for me. So I'm usually in the kitchen cooking, and I'll sit down and listen and watch. By the time King and Queen comes around, I'm like done with everything, and I can actually really engage in chat and stuff like that. Okay, well, once again, I want to thank you guys all for all your support. I appreciate all of the super chats, all my Patreons out there. I have a lot of awesome Patreons that are here today in the chat, as well as other supporters that are not Patreons that support me in other ways, and you know who you are. And you've made the stuff behind me possible here with the shelving unit and these air pumps and all these sponge filters and these airline hoses. And it means so much to me. It's awesome because it's really, you know, it would be a lot longer before I got to this point, because I financially would not be able to just go out and just Amazon all this stuff. So I do thank you guys so very, very much for all of that. And all of you that just want to hang out and geek out with me for about, you know, an hour here on a Sunday afternoon, or Sunday morning maybe for some of you. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you hang out with some family, do something fun, get out of the house while the weather's still good. Do some water changes. Gaze into one of your tanks for an hour if you choose to. That's always fun to do. Get lost. We're like, oh my God, what time is it? I've been staring at this fish tank. Yeah, I love that. I love to procrastinate sometimes, and that's a great way to procrastinate. Just roll my chair right over to a right out of here. Roll my chair right over to a tank and just gaze into a tank with a cup of coffee for about an hour and just watch what they do. Study. I call it research. We'll call it research. All right. Thank you, Daryl Deemer. You have a good one as well. Jesse, you have a good one. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Take care. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to run away now and go drain some tanks and hustle. Hustle. All right. Thank you guys. And you guys, take care of everything. And remember, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.